Hello, my name is Cerece Rennie Murphy, and I am excited to be celebrating Black Speculative Fiction Month with you. Yes, all October is Black Speculative Fiction Month, and I'm really excited about it because it gives me an opportunity to answer one of the questions that I always get whenever I'm at a convention, which is, wow, you're either a black person or a black woman. And I didn't know that there were any people of color besides Octavia Butler who were writing science fiction. And I always get a little heartbroken to hear that because there are so many authors of color writing great speculative fiction. And so this month I get to tell you about them. And so you can add them to your reading list and just get exposed to some great new voices in speculative fiction. And so in these videos, I'm going to be talking about some books that I've read that I really loved that I hope that you will too. So the first one is right here, and it's called Taurus Moon, Relic Hunter. And I have to say, this was one of my favorite books this summer. It is, imagine Indiana Jones mixed with Ferris Bueller with the Shaft swagger. The book is written by D.K. Gaston, and it is absolutely amazing. So, I mean, I was expecting action adventure. Obviously, you can see, the lead character, Taurus Moon, is fighting some, crazy beast on the cover. So I expected a lot of action adventure, and you definitely get that. But what I didn't expect was how funny it was and how suspenseful. I mean, each chapter is just sort of nail biting suspense, which was so much fun. And every time he, did something with the book in terms of space travel, you're expecting, if you've read science fiction, you're expecting, okay, they're going through some portal or, there's some time machine or something. But what you're not expecting is, some I don't know, some like port where there are attitudinal, like time warp administrators who are giving you a hard time when you're trying to get to this alternate universe so you can, save the world from some vampire who wants to be a god who's trying to rule the world, and you're dealing with like administrative red tape as you're trying to get to the next galaxy. It's just kind of crazy and fun and unexpected. He just takes so many different things that we think we're familiar with in science fiction and fantasy and just sort of turns them into something brand new. So I absolutely loved Taurus Moon, Relic Hunter, and would highly recommend it, both in paperback and in audiobook, because I got the audiobook and it was amazing. So definitely check it out and add it to your list. The next book that I want to talk about is The Darkness by Crystal Connor. I do not read horror in general. I always figured it would freak me out too much, but I picked up Crystal's book because I sort of been interacting with her on Facebook, and she just seemed to have just an interesting perspective on things, and I thought, okay, well, I'm going to give it a go. I absolutely loved this book. What can I say to you about The Darkness? First of all, it's part of a trilogy, and I know that she's about to release the third book in the trilogy. So if you get The Darkness by Crystal Connor now, you will not have to wait to see what happens. This book has one of the most interesting female leads that I've ever read. She is absolutely methodical, heartless, calculating, but you don't, wrapped in a sort of sensitive persona, which completely doesn't seem to go together, but Crystal does it and she does an amazing job. This is a story about two warring factions that are essentially experimenting with human beings and science and magic and the occult, and trying to dominate the world using all these different methods that sort of come together in this one character named Adam. And the journey that he goes on as he's discovered as a young child who has essentially been created and then rescued from that in a way and then brought into this whole different world is just fascinating. Try not to give too much away, but I can tell you that the book is intricate and complicated, surprising, tender, and horrific at the same time. And I will say that the end of this book reminded me of The Usual Suspects, the movie. And if you've ever seen it, I remember the first time I saw The Usual Suspects, I got to the end and just sort of, was starstruck at looking at the screen, turn, just put the movie back to the beginning and start it all over again immediately because I just couldn't believe what the ending was, and I had to go back and see all the clues that I missed from the beginning of the movie. And the ending to The Darkness by Crystal Connor is the exact same way. It is a killer ending that you can't even believe, and you should have known, but you just can't believe it. So anyway, another great read. As I said, this is book one in a trilogy, and she is going to be releasing that, I think, in October. So you won't have to wait. So get started now. You won't regret it. And even if you don't typically read horror, you're probably going to really enjoy this. All right. So those are the two books that I'm talking about for this cast. I will be talking on my next video about a mystery series, the LaShawn Roussel mystery series by Lynn Emery. That is absolutely wonderful. It's I've read the first two books in the trilogy. The third one she is working on now, or in the series. The third one she's working on now, and it's fabulous. It's everything that you love about Anne Rice, minus about 300 pages of backstory that you don't need. So, we're going to be talking about that next, as well as a wonderful book that I just finished by an author named Daniel Jose Older called Salsa Nocturna. That's absolutely wonderful. So, tune in. I'm excited to share some new authors with you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.